Hello, I'm Emzy and welcome back to the video. Today I'm giving you 5 tips for the Hunger Games or Battle Mode in Minecraft. Because if you don't know, a brand new game mode is coming out for Minecraft console called Battle Mode that's basically going to be based on the Hunger Games, based on all the leaks we've seen anyway, and because of this we can assume that any Hunger Games tips will apply to some extent to Battle Mode. And today I'm giving you 5 tips that will help you get ahead of Battle Mode before it even comes out, so when it does come out you can dominate on the public games and all that sort of stuff, and that's something I imagine a lot of you will want to be doing. So yeah, hopefully you all do enjoy today's video. If you do, like it and let me know because it helps out the channel a lot, and let us know you do like the Battle Mode content. A lot of this will be coming, in the run-up to its potential launch, if it does get officially confirmed, announced, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, if you want to keep on seeing tips like this one, let me know. But yeah, here's 5 pretty useful tips that are also pretty basic, because the first one here is to do with the starting chest. And you might think, Toycat, what tips are there for the starting chest? You just go in there, you grab your stuff, and you run away, right? Well, it's not quite that simple, because as you can see right here, let's say it's just a 1v1 with me and Emzy, there's 5 chests in the center, and there's, 2 of us. That means that one of us is getting 3 chests, or maybe one gets 4, but usually one of us is getting 3 chests, one of us is getting 2. How do you guarantee you're the one that's getting 3? Or in the case of a 4-player game, because that's just as likely, if there's 4 of you, how do you guarantee you're the one getting 2 chests and everyone else gets 1? So the thing that seems like it's the clever way out is to go for the center chest first, because, everyone has their own chest around the outside, and no one's going for the center. That might work sometimes, it might just work out for you, but I think the reality behind this one is always try and go for someone else's chest first, because for instance, let's say there is 4 of us, 1 for each chest. If you just go on someone else's chest first, you sneak it off them, and then, take all the stuff, they're going to be really confused, they won't know who took it, and then by the time they have worked it out, you're in your chest, you've gone your stuff, and boom, it's like that. And say it's just a 1v1 with me and Emzy, if she's going for those 2 chests first full, if I just grab the one she doesn't, then she's going to be confused as why is chest empty. It's going to take her a few seconds, and then by that time, I've already grabbed 3 or maybe even 4 of the chest, and that's how you get ahead on the cornucopia. Again, it's a small thing, but making sure you get these starting items really can increase your odds later on the game, because you don't need a sword if you already have a sword, and you can focus instead on getting other cool items, which is something I think is pretty useful. So yeah, make sure you get a weapon of some form from here. The best way to improve your odds of doing that is to get as many chests as possible. The best way to improve your odds of doing that is to go for someone else's chest first. As rude and weird as that sounds, it actually is going to work out if most people aren't doing it. And if most people are, then go for your own chest first, I guess. But yeah, with that said, that's the first little tip right here, to do with the cornucopia. The second tip is actually to do with weapons, because a lot of people don't know the actual equivalencies of weapons. So for instance, if you see someone with a diamond sword and you've got a stone axe, you know that their diamond sword isn't, it's going to be a lot stronger than your stone axe, right? So yeah, but you don't know about the stone axe and the wooden sword, you don't know about the stone axe and that sort of stuff. So what I figured I'd do is I'd give you a quick explanation on how sharpness works, all that sort of stuff, because sharpness could be in there, but also to explain how axes work against swords. So axes are the equivalent, on the current console version anyway, of the the sword of the lower tier. So a stone axe is the equivalent of a wooden sword, an iron axe is the equivalent of a stone sword, and sharpness makes things a little bit messy, because you might think a wooden sword with sharpness is just about as good, if not slightly worse than a stone sword, but the truth is it's actually better. So if we look right here, 3 items, you might be confused as to which one of these 3 is the best, but it's actually the wooden sword with sharpness. Here you can see 5 attack damage, because iron axe is like a stone sword, it just can't block, so this is technically slightly better, and then this is the best of the 3 because it has more damage and it can block. So yeah, sharpness 1 is actually slightly better than having a tier up. If you have an iron sword of sharpness 1, it's better than having a diamond sword. If you have a stone sword of sharpness 2, it's better than having a diamond sword, and that's something that isn't necessarily intuitive to everyone, and it's going to be something you want to watch out for. So yeah, make sure you check enchantments when comparing stuff, and this goes for armor too. Make sure you know what's better than what, because if you don't know that, for instance, chain armor is better than leather, then you're going to make some mistakes, and that might mess things up. So yeah, keep that in mind. Know what's better than what as you're going with chess, which it seems simple, but it is something that, not everyone knows which of these 3 is the best off by heart. Always remember, sharpness is like an upgrade and a little bit, and, an axe is like a downgrade in a little bit. So yeah, with that, an axe is exactly a downgrade. So with that said, let's move on to the next point here, which is to do with potions. Potions come up in a lot of Hunger Games situations, and I imagine they'll be coming up in a lot of Battle Mode situations, and as a result of this, you've got to be able to know which potions are better than which ones. So, for instance, here we've got 2 splash potions, weakness and slowness. It might be really hard to decide which one you have on you, because weakness sounds like such a good potion, but if you actually look at the effect of... Wait. How did I get all the way over there? But if you actually look at the effect, all it does is remove 0.5 attack damage from the enemy. Whereas a slowness potion, even though it's only 15% movement speed applied, it's actually a really big deal when you do that. So for instance, here you can see, okay, Emzy's going to be my Crash Bunny here, by the way. If I throw a splash potion of weakness at her, it doesn't actually stop her from running after me at all. As you can see, she's trying to get me right there. She's got a diamond sword. She's going to do some real damage, even with that, oh, wow, as you can see, like that. She chased off me and it was just fine like that. However, we throw a splash potion of slowness at her right now. So assuming that actually, okay, that did hit her. Now you can see, no matter how fast she actually tries to run, she's not going to be able to get me. I don't know if it actually hit her right there. No matter how fast she tries to run, she's not going to be able to hit me as far as I can tell. Okay, no, wait, we didn't hit with a slowness potion. Let's try this one again then, shall we? So as you can see right there, she's trying, but if we now try it with the second, okay, we got a slowness potion here. Technical difficulties here. So yeah, if we throw in and actually hit, because I'm not used to the throw distance on this kind of version, right, yeah, if we actually throw in and hit like that, assuming we don't get ourselves, you can see just how much slower we're going, and therefore how much she would be going, and this is something that's really, really important when it comes to chasing away from someone. If you want to get away from someone, then give them a slowness potion. If you want to run into someone, give them a slowness potion, because it works in the reverse way too. So yeah, with that said, let's move on to the fourth little tip here, which is actually to do with hitting someone. So let's say I am brave enough to try and attack Emzy, even though she has full diamond armor, and I have, oh, actually, I have some diamond armor on, but yeah, she has a diamond sword, I have a stone axe. How do I win this fight? It's not possible if we both hit each other 1 for 1. She hits me, I don't know how many times it would be, something like 6 times and I die. I need to hit her way, way more times than that. Also, pro tip, let's switch out our stone axe for a wooden sword of sharpness 1. But yeah, basically, how do I do this? Well, the tip here is actually to, we both got slowness, but the tip here is to try and hit from the side over and over again. So you can see right this, she's going to be trying to spin around. As long as you just, keep your strafing game up and you can do this over and over again, then you're going to be able to hit, you're going to be able to hit several times every time they hit you. And if you keep to the previous tip I've given, which is to just, hold down the trigger like this, don't, when you're in combat, just hold it down like this, unless you're going for tactical hits. Then what you can do is you can hit several times for everyone you're hit, and it's just a clever way to do lots of damage. I got hit once there, and I hit her like 6 times, and some of that was, of course, like, me going in a lot faster and stuff. But still, if you can hit someone from the diagonal, or even better, from behind over and over again, because, from behind like this, you get from behind, and then you run it again, and if you can just keep doing that over and over again, it can be very, very confusing, as you can see right there. It took a little bit of effort to stay away from me that time. So yeah, pro tip right there. Number 4, try and attack people from behind. It seems obvious, but a lot of people will just go in for the head-on-head, and sometimes that's valuable. If you know you've got the better stuff, you can do that, but if you know you're going to lose, you have to try and go for something ridiculous, and that something ridiculous might be our 5th tip here, TNT. So we're going to need some fire charges to light these, so actually let's put those right next to it, because basically TNT is something that will come up, again, it comes up on a lot of servers. I imagine it could be coming up in battle mode, and if you have TNT, knowing when to use it is important, because bear in mind there is a fuse time. When we put the TNT down, so let's throw some TNT over, let's put some TNT over here, for instance. As you can see, we put the TNT down, and you need to make sure that it's tactically placed. She's not going to be able to hit by it, but what I can do there, as you see, I managed to knock her into the water, and now she's in the water, she's going to be locked in there forever. So yeah, using TNT to position people is way more important than using TNT to explode people, unless you know they're trapped. Like, for instance, now she's trapped over there, so that means I can put some, some TNT right there. I can launch her into it, and she's going to take a lot of damage from that. Well, I did too, because I was right next to it. But you get the point. You can actually use TNT to position people, and if they're in water, you can use it on them then. But for the most part, unless they're in a really tricky situation, or they're guarding some chests, like, Emzy really wants those chests right now, because they might refill soon, then unless it's something like that, she's going to need to make sure that, in this particular case, it's more about positioning than it is about, the actual detonation itself. However, it is a very fun way to kill people too. So if you want a stylish way to kill people, and you have the armor for it, you can use TNT. More realistically, though, it's like a relocation tool. So yeah, with that said, let's just put one more bit of TNT right there. She's going to have to roam all the way to the edge of the water, and then if she does that, I'm behind her all of a sudden, and it's not good for her. Okay, we blew up a lot of the Central Island. And yeah, keep in mind that a lot of servers, and presumably battle mode, won't have any damage to the world, so, it's not going to do this big whole thing, but you see how this can be used to your advantage. So yeah, that is 5 tips for battle mode coming to Minecraft at some point in the future, potentially, based on leaks. If you want to know more of these, let me know in the comments down below, because I really, really like PvP, and I like that there's going to be a big element of it coming to console. Like, for the longest time, PvP's been something I've discussed on my channel, but hasn't really been too realistic, and yeah, I'd like to know if you want to see more stuff like this. Just a quick recap of the stuff. Tip number 1, get more chests than the other person. Try and do that by going for their chests, and, you kind of get the chest meta going on, as ridiculous as that sound. Second tip is knowing what's better than what. Sharpness 1 wooden sword is better than an iron axe, even though that sounds kind of weird. A sharpness 1, stone sword is better than a diamond axe. Again, as weird as that sounds. Next up, you want to know that slowness is better than weakness. Also, you want to bear in mind that healing is not necessarily better than regeneration. It's right now, but regeneration is better for the long term. So if you're going in for a long fight, regeneration. If you're healing in the middle of a fight, healing is the one you want to go. And and then you want to bear in mind that trying to attack people from behind, it's better. Also bear in mind TNT is great for repositioning people. And also big thank you to Emzy255 for coming here and being my Crash Bunny. I very much do appreciate her doing this sort of stuff, because of course, again, right now I don't do too much PvP stuff, and I'm looking forward to that changing when battle mode comes out. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching, and goodbye.